Good afternoon, dear students. This is your Sudha ma'am. Welcome to the lesson 6 of class 10 biology, that is reproduction, the generating system. In this lesson, we are going to learn about asexual mode of reproduction, sexual reproduction in male and female, childbirth, sexual reproduction in plants, cell cycle, that is mitosis and meiosis, reproductive health, birth control methods, and finally fighting against social ills. These are the topics in this lesson we are going to be covered. Coming to the what is reproduction? The production of new organisms from the existing organisms of the same species is called reproduction. That means whatever the living organisms, existing living organisms, they produce their own kind. Say some examples like human beings, again babies, male or female. A mango tree is there, again a mango plant. A dog is there, puppy. A lion is there, cub, like that. Reproduction occur not only for the continuity of the life, it also helps in the generating the new characteristics in species. And it helps in the origin of new species as the new characteristics are providing. In due course of time, the new species are evolved and it strengthens the existing species by giving adaptations to the changing environment. As the environment is changing day by day, because of reproduction, there are some variations takes place and these variations help us to withstand in this changing environment. And coming to the types of reproduction, there are two types of reproduction, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Let us learn about asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is a mode of reproduction in which new offspring is produced by single parent. So, in asexual reproduction, only a single parent is involved. The new individual produced are genetically and physically identical to each other, that is clones of their parent. The offsprings are exactly the exact copies of the parent cell or parent. Asexual reproduction is observed in both unicellular and multicellular organisms. It can take place in both uni and multicellular organisms. And this process does not involve any kind of gamete fusion and there won't be any change in the number of chromosomes. So, there is no gamete fusion. So, there is no change in the number of chromosomes. It will inherit the same genes as the parent. So, exactly like parent, how many genes are there? The same will be exactly, these are clones of the parent. There is no difference. And types of asexual reproduction. First one is fission. The term fission means to divide. So, these organisms divide and they multiply. And fission is of two types, that is binary fission and multiple fission. In binary fission, the parent cell divides into two cells. Bi means two, no? So, the parent cell divides into two daughter cells. The cell division patterns vary in different organisms. In some organisms, they are directional and some other are non-directional. Amoeba and Euglena exhibit binary fission. Amoeba and Euglena are the examples of binary fission. Still many more are there. It is one of the simplest method of asexual reproduction. The parent cell divides into two, each daughter cell carrying a nucleus of its own that is genetically identical to parent. The cytoplasm also divides, leading to equal sized two daughter cells. The process repeats itself and the daughter cells grow and further divide. Here one parent cell divides into two and nucleus, cytoplasm and cell organelles are equally divided and distributed to both the daughter cells, and these daughter cells they grow and further they starts dividing. That is about binary fission. And When more cells are formed from a single cell, then we will call it as multiple fission. Example, Plasmodium, the malarial parasite. Malaria is caused by the parasite called Plasmodium, and in that we can able to see the multiple fission where one single cell divides into many daughter cells. And second one is budding. Budding is the process of producing an individual through the buds that develop on the parent's body. Hydra is an organism that reproduces by budding. Not only Hydra, Hydra is a multicellular organism, and yeast is a unicellular organism which reproduces by budding. In our figure also we can see the yeast cell reproducing by budding. The bud derives the nutrition and shelter from the parent organism and detaches once it is fully grown. Once it is fully grown, it detaches from the parent cell and lead into a individual life. So, it forms on the parent's body. So, here one parent cell and one daughter cell we can able to see in budding. Coming to fragmentation. Fragmentation is another mode of asexual reproduction exhibited by organisms such as Spirogyra and Planaria, etc. Here, the parent body divides into several fragments, and each fragment develop into a new organism. So, here the Spirogyra is given in the figure. So, the parental body divides into 3 fragments, and each fragment grow into a new individual. That is about fragmentation. Then coming to regeneration. The regeneration is the power of growing a new organism from the lost body part. Generally, we will see the lizards. When a lizard loses its tail, a new tail grows. This is because the specialized cells present in the organism can differentiate and grow into new individual. Example, planaria also you can take. So, the planaria here it is divided into 3 pieces, and whatever the lost part again it regrow and develop into a individual. Parthenogenesis. The next topic, next asexual mode of reproduction is parthenogenesis. The process of development of young ones from the unfertilized ovum is called parthenogenesis. We utilize this process of reproduction in growing organisms of our choice with more desirable characters. Example, seedless fruits. And this kind of reproduction is also seen in bees, ants and wasps. The insects like bees, wasps and ants, they also undergo the parthenogenesis where the unfertilized ovum develops into the young one. Vegetative propagation. Asexual reproduction in plants occur through the vegetative parts like leaves, roots and stems and buds, and this is called vegetative propagation. That means flower is the reproductive part of the plant, whereas these leaves, roots, stems, buds, these are called vegetative parts. So, the reproduction through vegetative parts is called vegetative propagation. And this is of 2 types, that is natural propagation and artificial propagation. Coming to natural propagation by leaf, example bryophyllum. So, in the bryophyllum leaf, the small plants grow on the edges of the leaf. So, on every notch of the leaf, there is a new plant arises in bryophyllum, that is propagation by leaf. Then coming to the stem, aerial weak stems like runners and stolons, when they touch the ground, they give the adventitious roots. That means a bunch of roots is produced when these stems are touched to the ground. When the connection with the parent cell is broken, the stem portion with the adventitious roots develop into a independent plant. Some examples of vegetative propagation by stem are stolons, bulbs, corms, tubers, etc. Vallisneria and strawberry are the examples of stolon, whereas allium cepa, that is onion or garlic, are examples for bulbs, and colocasia is the example for corm, and potato is the example for tubers. And coming to the natural propagation. Natural propagation through roots. In some plants, the new plant arises from the roots, that is dahlia, radish, carrot, asparagus, etc. Coming to the artificial propagation. In vegetative reproduction, we have natural propagation and artificial propagation. Already we discussed about natural propagation. Now artificial propagation. In these, three ways are there, that is cutting, layering and grafting. Coming to cutting, some plants grow individually when a piece of parent plant having a bud is cut from the existing plant. The lower part of this cutting is buried in the moist soil. After few days, the cell part having buds grown as an individual plant after developing roots. Example, rose, hibiscus, bougainvillea, etc. Layering. A branch of the plant with at least one node is bent towards the ground and a part of it is covered with moist soil, leaving the tip of the branch exposed above the ground. After some time, new roots develop from the part of the branch buried in the soil. The branch is then cut off from the parent plant. The part which has developed roots grows to become a new plant. Example, Nerium and jasmine also. And coming to the grafting, two plants are joined together in such a way that two stems join and grow as a single plant. One which is attached to the soil is called stalk, and the cut stem of the another plant without root is called scion. Both stalk and scion are tied with the help of a twine thread and covered by a polythene cover. Grafting is used to obtain a plant with desirable characters. This technique is useful in propagating improved varieties of various flowers and fruits. Example, mango, citrus, apple, rose, etc. Let's summarize today's topic. Today we have learnt the asexual mode of reproduction, which includes fission, budding, regeneration, fragmentation and vegetative propagation. And spore formation we will study in our next session. That's all for today. Meet you in the next session. Thank you.